The next topic of structures and master data is versions. SAP Process System differentiates between the following versions: simulation version, project version, and CO plan version. In the SAP Process System, simulation versions are modifiable versions of projects. We create a simulation version in the quotation phase. For example, if an operative project does not yet exist, or if we want to plan other alternatives to an existing operative project or sub-project. Project versions are snapshots of a project at a specific point and are used for documenting the progress of a project over time. Both quantities and values are stored in versions. Project versions are created either manually or automatically when a status changes. CO planning versions are used to plan costs and revenues. Using CO planning versions, we can define various cost plans for a project. For example, an optimistic and a pessimistic plan. We can copy values from one version to another version and can change planned values manually in every version. The cost values are retained. So here in the versions, the project version, it is a snapshot, we cannot change anything. Simulation versions, we can change and compare between the versions, and CO plan versions, we can make different costing versions. There are different application scenarios for simulation versions. Differences from original planning often arise in a project. Differences mean that a new planning for parts of projects or the entire project is often necessary. When planning complex projects, for example in project-oriented make-to-order production, it is often necessary to simulate and save changes to a project without actually affecting the operative project. So that means we are creating the version and we are copying into another version, and we are simulating and comparing and finally retaining to operative version. At the beginning of a project, can use simulation versions to simulate projects before actually transfer them to an operative project. Simulation versions are particularly useful during the quotation phase and for comparing different what-if scenarios. It is possible to plan several simulation versions. We can then decide which version is the most suitable. Even when a project is running, we can copy operative projects to simulation versions, analyze and work with the simulation versions, and then transfer them back to the operative project. Simulation versions are edited using the project planning board or the project builder. When an operative project is copied to a simulation version or vice versa, a log file is created. This contains the objects that were transferred and any error messages that were issued in the process. The system can conduct a test run when the transfer occurs to see if it is possible to transfer a project or simulation version. Simulation versions are manually generated, modifiable, and can be easily deleted. Simulation versions can be created either for an entire work breakdown structure or for sub-hierarchies of a WBS. In the same way, we can create multiple simulation versions for a project and evaluate and compare them. When transfer data from operative projects to simulation versions, the following objects are copied, like work breakdown structure, network with activities, activity elements, relationships, and subnetworks, milestones. Materials for the activity, capacity requirements, invoicing plan for the network, and billing plan for the work breakdown structure element. Costs, revenues, and payments. Actual values are transferred only when you transfer an operative project to a simulation version. Documents, PS text, and long text, depending on the simulation profile used. So here we are transferring the operative project to a simulation version, and we are taking the copy of WBS element, subnetworks, networks, activities, activity elements, milestones, components, capacities, etc. So this data is being transferred from operative project to simulation version and vice versa. The following objects are not copied. Other orders as networks, for example, production orders, plant maintenance orders. Furthermore, integration with sales like quotation processing, assembly processing, and purchasing or production for simulation versions is not possible. Customizing for simulation versions comprises two steps. Input templates for simulation versions describe only how version keys for simulation should be set up. The simulation profile determines whether text should also be copied in addition to the structure information from simulation to operative projects and vice versa. If you work without a simulation profile, all texts are copied. The simulation profile is contained as the default value for the project definition in the project profile. Project planning board. The project planning board is a graphical interface for creating and maintaining project data. Project definition, WBS elements, activities, relationships, milestones, documents, and PS text are the data will be interface. The project planning board is based on an interactive SAP Gantt chart and is specially suitable for scheduling and monitoring. This Gantt chart is inbuilt of this SAP project system. It consists of a table area and diagram area and shows the hierarchical setup of the project and corresponding scheduling situation. So you can see the project planning board. It is having a tabular form. The table area at which the activities, WBS elements and activity elements will be appeared, and in graphic area we can see the scheduling part and the capacities with the chart representation and different functions with the extended toolbar. Along with the dates view can show or hide various other overviews of the project in the lower part of the Gantt chart, such as capacity overview. We can call up logs, the hierarchy graphic of WBS elements, or the network structure graphic for activities for the project planning board. The project planning board profile determines the appearance of the planning board. We can also enter default values here. The project planning board profile is valid for both simulation versions and the normal operative projects. So here in the planning board profile, we are having general data, diagram area data, and table area data. So from these options, we can shuffle the fields selection. Project versions. Project versions document the status of a project at a specific point in time or in a specific action. At a later time, the project versions are proof of the project status in the past and serve as a comparison with the operative project. Project versions are prerequisites in case of using milestone trend analysis. Project versions creation can be either manually or automatically. Manually or according to a point of time, that means create a project version manually at a specific point in time while changing the work breakdown structure, while changing the network in the structure info system, or with the transaction create project version, that is CN72. Automatically or according to an action, that means depending upon the user or system status, the system automatically creates a project version of object for which status has changed. In the version profile, need to define when a project version is created and which objects are included in a project version. For example, WBS elements, activities, production resource tools, or costs, or etc. So either manually or automatical creation of the project versions, you see the statuses whether project is created or budgeted or released. Based upon this status also we can trigger the system to create automatic versions or prototype or pre-series manual versions also we can create. We have to maintain the version profile in customizing for the SAP project system and enter it in the project profile and network profile. Use a version profile to define two different kinds of information. First, specify which version is created automatically when a specific system status or a user status is set. Second, specify which data is to be written to the versions that are created automatically. We need to define a version profile if we wish to have versions created automatically on the basis of the status, or if we wish to generate versions directly from the work breakdown structure or network maintenance transactions. We do not need to define a version profile if we wish to generate versions manually from the structure information system or if we use the transaction CN72. So project versions will be transferred from operative to version only. Here the WBS elements information, network activities, activity elements, milestones, component, subnetwork, payments, costs data will be transferred from operative to project version. Now we'll create the versions for the existing projects what we have created. For that purpose we'll go to standard menu, logistics, project systems, then go to project, simulation. First of all, we start with the simulation version, create. Now we have to select the existing project. We have selected the existing project, one project we have selected. Now we are considering as a version 1. For the first version we are can say F1. We can copy from the existing, that will be the we'll use from the existing 3.14.01.1. From 90 onwards we consider as a for the versions, so I considered 91, and for this project we are creating the version. Now start date, today's date will be used. Okay, we are trying to simulate the existing project, which is U3000.1401. and now we have to create 1491C. Similarly, one more network 1491E. So now we are creating a simulation project with version 1. We are trying to create, and if required we can make some more changes, like we are trying to put one more WS element over here. So we can check the number like C1. This is the WS element we are creating. Simply save it. So now we have simulated one existing project, and we would like to make the changes without disturbing the original project. That is the first simulation we are creating. Now we have created the simulation project. Now we'll go to the project builder, and we'll try to open the existing project simulation project from here. Now system will give this error as project does not exist, because we have created as a simulation project. This cannot be opened from the project builder. So we have to go to simulation version, chain, open project 91. Here we are making the changes whatever we require. Here we have created one WS element. If required we can add some more activities. We can use one more activity for this WS element. So this first of all we have to make this WS element as account assignment category. So account assignment element we have assigned. We have selected the account assignment element we are assigned. Now we are creating the account internal activity for this WS element, and assignment also will happen automatically. Now system will check for the existing network. The existing network number we have to give 1491C. Continue. So it will be created under the network NU 3000.1491C, and this activity will be assigned with the WS element which we have created newly. So here we have created new WS element, new activity in the simulation version. So these changes will not be affected the original project. We can have as many as changes in the simulated project without disturbing the original project. After making certain changes or certain modifications, we can transfer back the changes to the original project also. So here we can see the activity we have created. Now we'll see how to transfer back the changes to a original project. We'll go back to the menu here, transfer project. Now for transfer project, we'll see how to work with the simulation versions, transfer from version to operative, operative to version. Now we have one version, source version is 1, and we want to make it one more copy, that is target version. So now we'll see how to do this. System is asking for the create version. Yes. From the existing simulation version 1 to we want to make one more simulation version 2. So by using this transfer project method, we can directly make another version and make changes in the new created version also. So this is the way of transferring the project. In the same transfer project, we have a facility from the version to sending back the changes to operative version also, but the condition will be the operative project and simulated version project should have the same numbering. Then only from the simulated version to operative project the changes will be transferred. Now we can see here this project can be considered creating project version number 2. So this is the log. Now we can see whether the version number 2 has been created or not. So we are checking whether the second version has been created. Yes, the second version has been created, which we have used from the transfer project method, copied from existing version. Now we will try to create operative data, that is operative project 1401 to version will create. Operative will not have any source, will create one version number 1. So what we are doing is, here we are creating a simulation version with the same project ID, project number into simulation version with 1, so that if you want to make any changes in the simulation version, and those changes we will take back to operative version. Now we will see the simulation version 1401 1 is the simulation version. For the project definition is same. This we have created. Now we'll make some changes over here, like creating one WBS element in the equipment. For example, we'll check the existing open number and new WBS element has been created. For this we'll go for one activity also will assign. We are created as a account assignment element enabled. Now we'll create one activity to this WBS element. We give the existing network number. Enter network number copy from NE dot 1401 E I think we need to check the assignment. Superior is E. Assignments, it has so here we are creating internal activity to this WS element. T01 so we have created one activity and we are saving. So in the simulation version we have created one new WS element and one activity. Now we'll try to send back these changes to operative project. This is the project. From version to operative data, from version number 1. Do you want to update the project? Yes. So we are looking for the transferring the changes which are we have done in the simulation project to operative project. First of all, we have created from simulation version 1 to 2 and we have copied the operative data to simulation version. We have made some changes in the simulation version and we are transferred back to operative project. Now we'll see whether the changes what you have made in the simulative version has been transferred to original project or not. This is the operative project. So we can see here this is the WS element we have created. New WS element which we have created. This one is the new WS element and this is the activity what we have created. So this is the way to transfer the project from simulation version and operative to simulation version. And next thing, this is one more thing is there for logs, whatever logs we have done for the projects. Now we see the project version. Project version is nothing but a snapshot of the current project. So before making any changes we can take a snapshot of the current project and we can make the project versions. Like as simulation version, in the project versions we will not make the changes and keep for transferring. So project version is only used for taking the snapshot of the existing projects. So now we have to give the database profile. We have created some database profiles, or we can use from the standard database profiles also before selecting a project. So we'll use the same project for making the project version. We'll find out for the open number. We can say start value as 1, start value as 0. So we'll find out 1 is already there. So 2 and version group we have to select. We have to create the version group for the so we'll go to customizing. For the project versions we have to create the version groups. We'll use version group 1 and will execute for the saving. You'll see the project version has been saved. Now create using structure overview. So whatever we are doing, the project versions we are creating, system will automatically makes snapshot of the project versions. So here project version info system for the so from the structure overview also we can copy the project, save selection version, save project version, save profile, save the selective version. Project version we can say delete in 30 days. So version is saved. This is another method to create the project versions. So this is all about creating the versions for the projects like simulation version and the project versions.